Folks, we all should be fired up about this. Many of the people that he's smearing are Christian conservatives, okay?
You think that once Donald Trump is gone, it's the end of MAGA? I don't know if it's the end of that sort of attitude. I mean, the MAGA is the closest thing to the modern version of the Nazi Party. This is America's version. It's the closest thing without the Holocaust and all that stuff. That sort of mindset. That's what MAGA is.
MAGA is full of Christian conservatives who work, raise families, attend church, serve their communities, honor the flag, and believe America's constitutional principles are worth preserving. That's it. Okay? Now, you may disagree with our policies, and you can even criticize President Trump. You can challenge the conduct of Republican leaders, but you don't get to crawl inside millions of people's hearts, erase every concern we've expressed, and pronounce us as white supremacists.
Because most intelligent people, or logical people, when they get new information, and if that information is negative or not factual, then they change their minds. They go, oh, well, I wish I had known better. And now that I have this information, then I can readjust. No matter no matter how many facts and how much information you give them about this presidency, about the policies, they don't change their minds because they're really not voting for the price of eggs. They're voting for white supremacy. They're voting for power. They're voting to have a preeminent voice. They're afraid they've been co-opted by many people in the Republican Party and Donald Trump to think that their failures are due to something else, the other, the black person, the woman, the Latino, the immigrant, the migrant. That person is taking your job. That person is the reason that you don't have the financial or career success that you think that you should have. It's because of them. We want to take our country back.
What?
That's what MAGA is.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Can we call him maggot too? Can we just go ahead and maggot that Don Lemon loser? How dare, first off, he is so wrong and disgusting. And sir, uncross your legs. You are not a woman. The way he says, it makes me crazy. You know, I love masculine men, and that man right there just everything is wrong from when he opens his mouth. From when he sits down, you know something stupid is gonna come out of that man's mouth, and that was stupid.
And he has a platform. This is what we're trying to tell you all. People like him, disgusting, lying, vile people like him, have platforms to reach millions of people. Yeah. None of it is Christian. White supremacy is sinful. Black supremacy is sinful. Okay, that's not and it's not something I see on the right. You see a little bit of this in pockets of the right and the left. I honestly say it's more on the left. But racial hatred contradicts the biblical truth that every human being is made in the image of God. We talk about this all the time on here. You know, we've got shirts literally on Pop and Politics. I know this is Christian conservative, not black, not white, American. Don't let them divide us, okay? And loving your country is not white supremacy. Wanting secure borders, okay, is not white supremacy. Wanting affordable groceries is not white supremacy. And folks, I'm not white, I'm black, but he's talking about white conservatives. Yep. You should not let him shame you for loving your country and standing up for what you believe in, okay? Refusing to adopt the progressive worldview doesn't make someone a Nazi.
KJ, I agree 100%. You know what? Again, you just said what pissed you off. What made me so angry too is that it was so flippant about what being a Nazi is.
Right.
You know, without all that murdering of everybody and stuff, without all of that part. That is exactly the part. That was the point. That's what made them so disgusting. That's what made them so evil and so wicked, was that they were willing to murder. It was their intention. Nazis they intended to wipe out an entire people, and not just one entire people, the Jewish people specifically. They would go after, he would be dead if that were the reality. Right. Because they went after homosexuality. There were so many different categories that the Nazis put into camps and murdered So to say that we are out there like that, because what? Because we want to make America great again or make it affordable again, because we have pride in our nation. When do we stop this? When do we stop using those terms, stop throwing that out at people? Because that is disgusting, hateful. And you're right. I caught that too. He wasn't talking about MAGA people that look like you and me.
Right.
He sure wasn't. And I wish more people again would stand up and fight back to that. How dare you, Don Dumb Lemon?
Yeah.
That man, it just infuriates me. And no, the thing is, they want us to take their side and agree with them. It's not that we can't reason, right? We're reasonable. I'm reasonable. You're reasonable. No, they need us to full on drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
He can keep his crazy Kool-Aid. He can get the whole left. They can keep all that Kool-Aid. I do not have to conform to their ways, and that's what they don't like. Because he talked about how you can show them all the things. You can tell them all the things. No, you can't convince me that a lie is the truth. You can't convince me that Satan is Jesus Christ, my savior. Absolutely not. Now, you can ruffle it. You can do all you want. You can make it look pretty. You can put it in any package you want. Evil is evil. Wicked is wicked. Wrong is wrong. And you're not going to convince me otherwise just because that's what you believe. So, Don, say what you want. Believe what you want. But with the MAGA, which is not related to Trump, he just coined the term. Those of us who just are proud to be Americans, we're going to stay proud to be Americans after he's not president. I don't care if it's 10 years, 20 years. As long as I am alive, I'm going to be proud to be an American citizen. I'm going to continue to fight. And I'm not a Nazi for it. But you are a dumb person for saying that.
Yeah, I agree.
These clips are making me, guys, I don't usually have to watch what I say, but I usually stop myself from saying things. Usually I make up words, but I was so angry watching these. I'm just infuriated because they despise us so much. They hate us so much for loving God and loving country. Nothing else. Loving God, loving our country, and loving our children. And they hate you for it. They despise you for it. They don't want you to get along. They don't want you to talk. They don't want you to, they don't want you to discuss it. They just need you to do what they say to do. Because we say it and because we know what's best for you. Trust us. That's just not going to happen. I wish that people like that shouldn't have that platform. They do. Unfortunately, again, it goes back to Proverbs, goes back to what we were talking about following after fools, about having a lack of knowledge. And our people, what do God people do? They perish for lack of knowledge.
Right. And another thing, one thing he's loud and he's wrong is what I want to talk about, because MAGA voters aren't one racial block. We're not one religion or economic group, okay? And you can look right to the data for that. Trump's 2024 coalition remained majority white, but it also included millions of Black, Hispanic, Asian, immigrant, working class, and religious minority voters, okay? He increased his vote margins in multiple minority groups. All right. Preliminary national exit polling reported he received approximately 45% of Hispanic voters and 12% of Black voters, while performing better with Hispanic voters than he had 4 years earlier. All right. So that diversity doesn't not prove that racism is absent from the movement, but every large political coalition can contain prejudiced individuals. But it makes his argument, Don Limey Sour Lemon's claim, that the coalition's real motivation was white supremacy, intellectually indefensible. All right. So you can't erase minority conservatives like us by declaring that we're all merely participating in someone else's white supremacy. And I talk about this all the time. I don't know if I've said it in a while, but as you all know, I came from the left. I voted Democrat for most of my life. And then I changed in 2016. But when I went to my first Trump rally, okay, well, let me start over. I have been in politics. I've been politically motivated all of my life. Okay. But it was on the Democrat side. So I've been to, Democrat rallies, Democrat parties, all that kind of stuff. I didn't witness my first time. I witnessed the first time people praying at a political event at a Trump rally. I had never seen anything like that before in my life. And I'm Christian. I've been Christian all my life. But at Democrat events, I never see people breaking out in prayer. Okay. Never have I seen that. When I went to my first Trump rally, people were asking me, come on, let's pray together. I'd never seen that before in my life. And it continues to this day. Okay. So what he's talking, and it's black, it's white, it's Latino, all different ethnicities, Africans, from different countries in Africa. You will find very diverse crowds of faithful people at MAGA events. All right. So what he's saying is just not correct. And he hasn't even been to an event to actually say that.
No, except for when he's, illegally harassing churchgoers in their church. When he's doing that, then, that he's getting close. Right. I don't know why we're being bamboozled by men like him, especially the ones that claim and outcry, oh, it's white supremacy. It's all about the white. He is married to a white man. This is a gay black man, and remember, married to a white man. Right. So they say this as if the white man is so bad, and he's got this moral high ground as being a black man that goes home to a white man. Give me a break. You guys anybody believing this? I say you guys, but clearly it's not us guys. It's not us in this group. It's not this. You're being bamboozled. Just stop listening to this. Right. Turn it off. They're playing this race game. And I'm married to a white man. I got all kinds of, my kids look like everything. I sure don't try to pretend that I'm not.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. They like to pretend that they have some kind of moral authority. Boy, look, if you don't sit down somewhere, if you don't stop that lie and trying to confuse people and try to separate people, and I go back, I've said this before, it's like going back to the 90s. It's amazing how much, when I was growing up in the 90s, I didn't think of any of this. This really, all of this push started, it just started with Obama. Like they picked it all back up, and this is when it all started going downhill and started making it about race. My kids, I didn't care about who I was looking at. I went through some tough times in the area I was in, Utah, as a teenager. So yeah, I got called a lot of things, but I actually didn't even think, oh, this is just so horrible. Everybody's out to get me, all that. I didn't think about it like that. I was like, well, that's a stupid kid. Like you're just ignorant. They are pushing to continue to conquer, divide and conquer. That's what they're doing. Don't let them do it with race. That's why I love the shirt. So KJR, the 250 shirt for Christian Conservative also has that saying on it.
Right.
Not black, not white, don't let us. American. So that's why I wore that. I love that shirt. And I love that I'm saying that. Well, what's funny with me, people were laughing because they're like, well, you are black and you are white. So I guess.